The Geek Legion of Doom Top 10 Zombie Movies and TV Shows. Here at the Geek Legion of Doom, we love ourselves some zombie action. So we've decided to create our top 10 zombie movie and TV show list. First of all, we've decided not to include Night of the Living Dead. Heresy, you say? Well, this most likely will be #1 position on any list. So we want to know what other movies are around. It's also worth mentioning we're not necessarily looking for the best made films, rather than ones that we found most entertaining. So let's get started. Number 10. Nightlife, also known as Grave Misdemeanors. Made in 1989, directed by David Acumba, starring Scott Grimes and John Astin. Telling the tale of a bullied high school kid called Archie who works at his uncle's mortuary. During a freak car accident, his bullies are killed and taken to his uncle's mortuary, and as bad luck would have it, a freak storm comes along and brings his tormentors back to life as zombies. A fun and somewhat cheesy 80s horror comedy that actually manages to have some good gore moments and likeable characters, and some nice shots. Definitely underrated. Number 9. Dead Heat. We include this movie because it's an original and fun take on the zombie subgenre, while certainly not a serious film, and more of an action movie than a horror. It's on the list purely because it's original and there's nothing else really out there like it, and has some highly original scenes, most notably the carcasses of a Chinese butcher's shop coming back to life in zombie form, including zombie crispy roast duck. Released in 1988, directed by Mark Goldblatt and starring Treat Williams, Joe Piscopo and Lindsay Frost. It's actually a buddy cop action film, but one cop just happens to be a zombie. Number 8. Dead Snow. A more recent film made in 2009 and directed by Tommy Wirkola. A ski vacation turns horrific for a group of medical students as they find themselves confronted by an unimaginable evil menace, Nazi zombies. Plenty of scares and laughs had to be had with this one, an overall striking looking movie. Number 7. Dead Set. A British TV miniseries set during a fictional series of Big Brother. A zombie outbreak occurs, but the housemates are unaware of what the impending doom is outside of the Big Brother house. Using the real Big Brother set and even the presenter of the real show, it has some good comedic moments, however it is played straight, and has some good gore effects and an impending sense of doom. Is it commenting that watching reality TV makes you a zombie? We'll leave you to decide that. Made in 2008, written by Charlie Brooker and starring Jamie Winstone and Andy Nyman. Number 6. Burial Ground. This has a number of other names, including Nights of Terror and The Zombie Dead. This is a 1981 Italian gore fest directed by Andrea Beccani, who is obviously influenced by Luciano Fulci. This is quite an unsettling and spooky film about a professor who opens a crypt and reanimates rotten zombies. The zombies attack a group which is celebrating a party in a villa nearby. Lots of gory scenes, incest and general creepiness ensues. Number 5. Brain Dead, also called Dead Alive. Directed by Lord of the Rings himself, Peter Jackson. Released in 1992 and starring Timothy Blaine as Lionel Cosgrove, whose mother is bitten by a rat monkey. She gets sick and dies, and comes back to life as a flesh-eating zombie, killing and eating dogs, nurses, friends and neighbours. Possibly the most gory film on the list, but with tongue firmly in cheek. And some of the most inventive zombies you've seen. The best scenes include a kung fu priest who kicks ass for the Lord, and the lawnmower massacre has to be seen to be believed. Number 4. Zombie Flesh Eaters, or also known as Zombie 2. Made in 1979 by legendary horror director Lucio Fulci. Some consider this an unofficial sequel to The Night of the Living Dead. Hence it's called Zombie 2 sometimes, while there's no actual Zombie 1. It tells the story of a small group of people who are looking for a woman's father and who arrive at a tropical island where a doctor desperately searches for the cure of a recent epidemic of the undead. Famous for eye-gouging gore and the zombie versus shark scene. Number 3. Walking Dead TV series. Based on a comic book, this was adapted into AMC's best rated show. Starting in 2010, the show focuses primarily on Rick Grimes, played by Andrew Lincoln, who is a former sheriff deputy who has been in a coma for several months after being shot whilst on duty. When he wakes, he discovers the world has been overtaken by zombies. Rick is the leader of a group of survivors trying to save a safe place as they travel across the zombie wasteland. Great acting, outstanding special effects and a gripping story. This series has brought a whole new generation of zombie fans into the fold. For TV, they certainly don't shy away from gore and violence either. Number 2. Dawn of the Dead. 1978 saw the sequel to George Romero's masterpiece of horror with Dawn of the Dead. Considerably larger in scale, this sees a group of survivors holed up in a shopping mall, hoping it'll be a safe haven, at least for a while. Dawn is also a great satire from materialistic modern society. Deemed one of the most important horror movies of all time. It was remade in 2004 by director Zack Snyder, and that film was also pretty good. Number 1. Return of the Living Dead. A number 1 zombie movie is like Zombie Flesh Eaters as it's considered to be an unofficial sequel to Night of the Living Dead that it directly references in the movie. Released in 1985, it tells the story of a bumbling pair of employees at a medical supply warehouse who accidentally release a gas into the air and the vapours cause the dead to reanimate as they go on the rampage through Louisville, Kentucky, seeking their favourite food, brains, which incidentally was the first film to popularise this food source. The zombies are a lot more intelligent and mobile than most. It has a kick-ass soundtrack, great looking zombies, tons of gore and great characters. The film is really fun to watch, and it's both horrific and comedic, a frantic pace and a kick-ass ending. So that concludes our zombie top 10 list. What did you think and what was your top 10? Leave us a comment and look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.